Every building you've ever walked into belongs to someone, and very often it's real estate that makes people huge fortunes. But here's the question, how does this market actually work? In this video, I want to show how people really make money in real estate, because this field is much broader than just buying properties and waiting for the price to go up. We'll break down how value is created in this industry and what role developers play in all of it. Hey everyone, my name's Sergi Kobel. I'm an entrepreneur who's trying to figure out how the global real estate market works by building my own project in Indonesia. For the past 3 years, I've worked in real estate as an agent, helping people find properties and navigate the Bali market. But at some point, just being involved in deals wasn't enough for me, and I wanted to really understand how projects are created, how developers find land, how they calculate the economics, what they actually make money on, where the big money is, and why some projects take off while others just drain time, money, and nerves. From the outside, real estate seems straightforward, like it's all simple: buy low, sell high. Or you build something beautiful and make money. But when you start digging deeper, you realize that real estate isn't just one business, it's an entire system. There's renting, flipping, land, development, management, commissions, profit shares, financing, and dozens of models where money is made in different ways. And I wanted not just to watch this market from the sidelines, but to really understand how it actually works. For most people who want to make money in real estate, the journey doesn't start with hotels or big complexes, but with a very basic idea. A property doesn't have to be just an expense, it can be an asset. Some people start with a small apartment, others buy a property, rent it out, and for the first time realize that real estate can generate income on its own. And that's the first mental shift, when you stop seeing a property as just a place where someone lives and start seeing it as a tool. Then comes the next level. People don't just buy one property anymore. They start building a system where there's rental income and cash flow, and they begin to understand demand and return on investment. But that's still not the main thing, because the truly interesting game starts when you're not just waiting for the value to go up, but when you're the one creating that value yourself. And that's a really important idea. In real estate, the big money often isn't made by just buying and getting lucky, but by spotting potential before others do and increasing it through your own actions. And this is where, in my opinion, the most interesting part begins. One of the main principles in real estate, as I've already mentioned, isn't just to buy low and sell high. That's way too superficial. In reality, the strong players think about how to buy an undervalued asset and make it worth more through their own decisions. In other words, to find a property, land, building, space, or concept that the market hasn't fully appreciated yet. Why might a property be undervalued in the first place? It could be due to poor condition, weak management, an outdated concept, bad visuals, improper use of the land, or simply because others haven't seen its potential. And that's when the real work begins. You improve the property, increase its income, cut expenses, enhance its appearance, create a pleasant and clear concept, fill it with tenants, and package it well, and that's how you raise its value. And this isn't just passive waiting, this is value creation. There's a term I really like, forced appreciation. To put it simply, this is when the value of the property doesn't just grow on its own, but because you're improving it. For example, maybe it was a vague project, but you created a strong concept. Or maybe it was an empty space and you filled it with tenants. There were unnecessary expenses, you cut them and set up an efficient operating system. Sometimes even simple solutions can have a huge impact. It's good visuals, a decent entrance, clear presentation, and overall the right products for the demand. And at this point, you're making money not because the market is growing, but because you made the asset better. And in my opinion, this is one of the most important ideas in all of real estate. A lot of people think that money in real estate is made on reselling, but in reality, a developer or a strong entrepreneur in real estate usually has several sources of income. The first example is the increase in the value of the asset. You bought it for less, improved it, and sold it for more. The second is rental income. when the property starts generating steady cash flow. The third is earning from commissions. This is when, as a developer, you earn money for organizing the project itself. The fourth is a share of the profits. This is when you're not just managing the project, but actually participating in the project's profit growth. And the fifth is having a share in the property itself. And here's a very important point. A good developer doesn't just make money at one stage, but at several points throughout the deal. And this brings us to the question, who is a developer? A lot of people think a developer is just someone who builds buildings. But honestly, that's way too narrow a definition. To me, a developer is someone who sees the potential of a place where others don't, puts together a concept, brings together land, money, people, and demand, and turns all of that into a product. So being a developer isn't just about construction, it's a mindset. You have to understand capital turnover timelines, project economics, and risks. And you shouldn't argue with the market. Basically, a developer is an entrepreneur who knows how to turn an idea into a real project. And that's exactly why I got interested in going beyond just deals, because deals are really just the final step. But I wanted to understand the beginning. Where does it all even start? How does a project come to life from just a piece of land? Why does a concept work in one place but not in another? Where can a project turn over capital quickly, and where do you get stuck for years? And where's the line between a beautiful idea and a model that actually works? Now I'm right in the middle of this process myself. I've started building my own project in Indonesia. And it's a small hotel in the jungles of Bali. Basically, it's a setup of 8 separate units with a shared area, all in a stunning natural location. And for me, it's not just a construction project, it's a way to go through the whole process myself, not just in theory, but for real. That's why my channel right now is an open exploration of the industry through a real project, where I'm answering for myself, how does the global real estate market actually work if you look at it through the eyes of an entrepreneur? Subscribe. Let's figure it out together.